Hi, my name is Rebecca Luttrell, and I teach 4 through 9 language arts, social studies, and I have finished my TESOL endorsement. I just need to be taking the exam here really soon, so I hope that will happen here very soon. So what I'm going to be presenting today is to a 6th grade class, and we are reviewing roles and systems of government, specifically types of government. So I'm going to go ahead and begin that now. Hi everyone, Mrs. Luttrell here. I hope everyone's having a great day. When we went over your systems and roles of government, specifically the different types of governments, I noticed that some of you may need some help understanding just the basic concepts of what type of government is which. And so we're going to go ahead and review quickly those different types of government. So before we get started, I have a little warm-up activity for you. It says that research has shown that people who do at least 30 minutes a day of vigorous exercise reduce their risk of heart disease and some forms of cancer. Therefore, it would be wise for you to begin a daily program of exercise. So many of you already know, being 6th graders, that exercise is good for you. It increases the endorphins in your brain and just makes you feel good. And you're so young that you might not realize, hey, this can also reduce my risk of heart disease. So give me a green check or a red X if you agree or disagree with this statement. And really, this is more to show me that you are here and ready to start our review session here. So go ahead and put a green check or an X up. So thank you very much. So today's agenda, these are the things that you're going to be able to explain today after today's lesson. I can explain the differences between monarchies, theocracies, dictatorships, and democracies. I can identify and give examples of different types of governments. Why? Learning the differences between the government types help you to learn more about the world you live in and will help you make better decisions as an adult. For those of you that really like to know the systems and standards that we use for 6th grade social studies, the Grade 6 Rules and Systems of Government Standard 10. Governments can be categorized as monarchies, theocracies, dictatorships, or democracies, but categories may overlap and labels may not accurately represent how governments function. The extent of citizens' liberties and responsibilities varies according to the limits on governmental authority. And so that may be a lot of words that you don't understand right now, but don't worry, because the next coming weeks and throughout the year, we're going to be going over these systems of government and looking at how they overlap with one another. And basically, we're going to be talking a lot about this, but we're just starting, and I notice that some of you may be confused between the different types of government. Remember, your expectations for every class that you are here with in online school is that you participate, you ask questions, you are prepared, you focus on the instruction, and you answer when called on. So make sure that you're doing all those things. Let's go ahead and quickly look through our vocabulary preview. These are going to be the words that we are going to be talking about in this little mini review session. I'm going to go ahead and file transfer right now. To those of you that have an IEP or 504, you know who you are. And I'm going to go ahead and transfer you a file that has notes, and they are basically sentences for what I'm going to be talking about today, and you're going to be filling in the blanks. So make sure you go ahead and get that. I'm going to go ahead and send that to you now. All right, so we have monarchy, theocracies, dictatorship, and democracy. Those are the things that we talked about in class last week. And let's go over those again, and I'm going to have a little activity for you as well. So monarchy, a supreme power or sovereignty held by a single person. Theocracies, a system of government by priests or another religious leader. claiming a divine commission. Don't worry if you don't understand this, it's okay because we're going to go over it. Dictatorship, a country government or form of government in which absolute power is exercised by a dictator. And democracy, government by the people, a form of government in which the supreme power is vested in the people and exercised directly by them or by their elected agents under a free electoral system. So these are the questions you need to consider. And they're also the goals for this lesson, the targets for this lesson. I can explain, which is you, the student, not me, the teacher. I can explain the differences in these types of governments. Can you do that? Can you give examples of these types of governments? And do you understand why it is important to learn about these types of governments? All right, so go ahead and get your pointer tools out. You're going to tell me which is which. All right, so I have some symbols for each type of government right here. And you're going to go ahead and get your pointer tools out right now. I'm going to read to you some hints about each type of government, and I want you to use your pointer tools in practice to see if you can figure out which one is which. All right. This type of government has a king or queen. There are constitutional monarchies, absolute monarchies, the state of Qatar is one of these, and the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Some countries are Cambodia, Norway, and like I said, Qatar. Okay, everyone's pointer tool should be pointing towards the crown right there at the bottom. That was pretty easy, right? Kind of gave you some big hints. So you get the idea of how you're supposed to do this, right? All right, go ahead and put your pointer tools on the next picture, which you think this is. The different types can be direct, representative, hybrid, or semi-direct. This type of government usually has a president. Some examples are Australia, Canada, or United States. Okay, so, and also they can vote. So which one do you think it is? Everyone's pointer tool should be on the dice with the people voting it because they're voting, right? So that would be a democracy. All right, the next one. This type of government believes in a supreme being over the government or a deity, religion. There may be a priest in power over the government. An example is the Vatican City or Iran. All right, everyone's pointer tools should be on the church because I am talking about a theocracy. So it should be on the church. Very good. And the last one, everybody always gets this one, right? The last one, because it has to be the one you haven't pointed to yet. There are different types. There's military, personalist, hybrid. Some examples are Afghanistan, Egypt, or Cuba for country examples. All right, everyone should have their pointer tool on the green man with the blocks. This is a dictatorship. So you've had some practice with this. And here is the definitions again. So make sure if I file shared with you that you are writing in the different types of governments into the file. So make sure you look at this. All right, at this time, I'm going to have you draw it out. I would like you to use your tools in the breakout rooms. And I would like you to draw a picture of each type of government. Try to make it different than the one that I did, but it can be a little similar than the pictures that I showed you. I will put you each in a separate room to do this. So at this time, you're each going to go in a separate room, and I will go through the rooms and check to see how everyone is doing so that see if you can understand the concepts a little better. Okay, now I would like you to put it in a sentence. I would like everyone to send me a private chat so that we can't see what each other is seeing because I want to see how each one of you is doing with this. Can you explain to me what a monarchy is? Send in a private chat. Can you explain what a democracy is? Tell me in a private chat. Can you explain what a theocracy is? Tell me in a private chat. Can you explain what a dictatorship is? Tell me in a private chat. And again, can you understand these things? Can you understand our targets for this little mini lesson? If you feel like you still cannot understand these targets and you're a little confused, please let me know so that we can have a one-on-one session together and so that I can help you further. All right, so now it is your turn. Please move yourselves into the rooms where you see your name is listed on the next slide. I've broken everyone up into groups, and I would like you to move yourself to the group where your name is listed. You're going to be working with your group members, following the directions on the slide that you see, and work with everyone and complete the slide. I'll be checking on your groups throughout the time, so you're working with each other. So show me your best work. I will put on the ability for you to move my presentation slides back and forth so that you can reread the definitions. Here's your groups. So go ahead and move yourself down into the group that you see your name in. This is what the slide is going to look like in the groups as they move themselves down in this. This is going to be the non-proficient groups that I have selected and put the students that were non-proficient in. And I want them to draw it, put it in a sentence, and write it out in a definition. And they already did this in class with me, so I'm asking them to do it in a group, and they did this by themselves as well. This is for the advanced groups, and I intermixed the proficient with some of the non-proficient and some of the advanced because I wanted them to be able to teach the students in the lower group that were proficient as well as learn from the students that were advanced. So I did mix up the proficient to the non-proficient and the advanced groups. So this is for the advanced group and also has some of the proficient students in it. I'm asking them to delve a little further and look through their social studies links that they have within the classroom and find different types of democracy. There are several different types of democracy. For example, we have direct, representative, hybrid, or semi-direct. And so I'm asking them to do that for the advanced. I would go over one more time the expectations for today's agenda, and then I would check to make sure that everyone understands. And if there are students that do not understand, or if I'm getting feedback from students that do not understand, I would mark their name and know that I need to work with them one-on-one. And this slide is just saying what I had said before about how I mix the groups. So the non-proficient group I would start with first. I would start checking on these groups very frequently and guiding them in the correct definitions for each type of the government. I would be making a note of who is grasping the concepts and who needs more practice. And I would also check, of course, on the proficient group. So this ends my slide. So thank you very much. Again, my name is Mrs. Luttrell. As you can see, I've had a few years, I have 3 years of online teaching, and so I know how to do a lot of the technology already. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to talk with you further. I hope you enjoyed my lesson. It did go by very quickly. It's very hard to squeeze something like this into just a few minutes like this, but I tried my best. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much.